I was gonna also, oh, got it. If I was also gonna say, if you don't know what you want to do after college, we're also the people to ask, and that's totally okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Jose. I do prefer to go by MJ. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I am one of the assistant directors of undergraduate career education and development. What does that mean? I am a career counselor and I'm here to support you all in your career journey, right? There are 7 other counselors on our team that support both North Campus and South Campus and all in between. We each have different liaison roles, so I feel very, very special to be one of the TSC, Career Counselor Transfer Liaison roles for you all here. So I am one MJ. Armene is another counselor that works with me. So you'll see us at the TSP doing career drop-ins. At the Career Center, how many of you have heard of a career center, know a career center, has talked to a career counselor before? Yes, I see some head nods, a heart. Yes, okay. So at the Career Center, I see some thumbs up. Thank you for that. At the Career Center, we're here to help you in any career-related question you have. It can range from, I know exactly what I want to do. Can you help me figure out the steps I need to take? Or I don't know what I want to do. Can you help me figure out some goals? Or I just want my resume reviewed, or I want to talk about switching my major. What does that look like? Any range of question you have that's career related at the Career Center, we can offer as much support as possible. You can visit us and schedule appointments at any time using the handshake link. I'm going to drop our website in the chat so you have access to all of our resources. They're absolutely all free for you. You just need to access them through this website so you can get any access codes that are necessary. We do things that inform your self-assessment and gaining personal insight into your interests, your personality, what your career goals are, and how you can achieve them, from how to obtain a job in an internship, right? Whether in school, after school, if you want to go to grad school. As a first gen Latina, I didn't even know what grad school was. So if were anything like me and was like, what is grad school? You can come and ask us that too. We have so many events, workshops, presentations, drop-in sessions. You can really find us anywhere on campus at any given moment, but always come down to the Strathmore building on the 2nd floor. We do employer information sessions. We will support you with different career education topics. Any given time, you can find any of our things on Handshake under the events tab. Handshake, I've now referenced twice. Didn't tell you what it was. If you're coming from an institution that uses Handshake, you may be familiar. That is a job and internship website. However, it's also your first contact with the Career Center if you don't want to come by and come by here. Handshake, you can make an appointment with a career counselor or a career peer that you can receive support one-on-one. You can also stop by drop-ins and access all of our resources that we have for you on there. So it's so much more than just the job and internship board. It's really access to anything career-related support that you need. You are more than welcome to always come by and ask for questions, support. We also have physical resources available to you too. We have an amazing career guide that I'm going to pull up its link so you all have it. It is a 60-page document. I know it's heavy, but trust me, when I say that this is worth it, it's 10 chapters worth of anything career related that you can think of fundamentally. I've been talking for way too long. Does anybody have questions? Career can go a long time, but does anybody have questions? Okay. I'm assuming.
I have one based on Monday that so one of our panelists on Monday, we were talking about academics, mentioned VMOC and how they love it. Do you want to tell us about what VMOC is and why people should use it?
So VMOC is an AI generated resume reviewer. So let's say you are a night owl and you are working on your resume because you have an internship or job application due at 11:59 p.m. today, and the Career Center's closed from 5 to midnight, right? And doesn't open until 8 a.m., 9 a.m. the next day. You need help with your resume. VMOC is your go-to friend. You submit your resume. You have 10 uploads every academic year. Just so you know, 10 every academic year. We encourage you to upload your resume. It's very similar to a red light, green light type of feedback, and it gives you a percentage. Gives you personalized feedback based off of your format, layout, and bullet points that you have. So it is very helpful in that manner to begin critiquing your resume and ask you for support there. VMOC is an amazing tool, as are all of our resources. But as you will know very soon, if not already know, your documents will be in the hands of a human being at the end of the day. We encourage students use VMOC as the first step basis for resume review. And that's the only type of document review it does as well. So one thing to note too, then you can come for a drop-in. If we're chilling and we're vibing right now and you want to come see MJ, come see me tomorrow on drop-ins. I'm here all day from 10 to 12 and 1 to 3, virtually and in person. So if you want to come see my office behind the Zoom background, come on by. We also have drop-ins Tuesday and Wednesday as well. VMOC's really, really great in helping you get started with your resume. Always come see us too. You mentioned Monday, Sarah, so I'm going to plug this in as well. VMOC is great. On Mondays, in the academic year, we have internship lab from 10 to 2. What does that mean? That means you can come on by. We have computers here at the Career Center as well, so you don't need to worry about technology access. All you need is your UID, right, and your login. And you can sit with one of our industry relations managers, and they will walk you through Handshake to how to find different internships that appeal to you and your career interests. Guess what? On special Mondays, MJ will be there for a few hours because I will be doing first gen drop-ins. If you identify as a first gen student, right, you can come on by on special days, special Mondays, because I will be joining the IREL managers is what we call them, for internship lab as well, to give you both career education support and you get that internship support as well. Great question. Is psychology considered a North or South Campus major? It is a South Campus major here at UCLA. It's actually a life science because they make you take a life science course for it. I was a psych major somewhere else, so I wish I was a South Campus. Does career file also include paid research opportunities? So the file, it's not a like access. So Handshake is your resource to obtain job and internship opportunities. I like to call them opportunities because opportunity can really mean anything, right? You can definitely find research opportunities within there. I would like to talk more one-on-one with that for that question specifically, because research can mean a lot of things. It could mean with a faculty, it could mean with an advisor, it could mean at the UCLA Semel Institute where I was an intern, right? Research looks very different, but yes, Handshake you can use for paid opportunities. At the Career Center, we're always going to encourage you, make sure you get paid for your work because it's hard work. That's the link to Handshake in the chat. Let me see if I got any more questions. Okay, that one, I got that one.
I think Parker Dewey is really cool. So I just dropped the link to that info. Do you want to share more about what that is? And I think it's especially good for folks who aren't quite sure what they want to do, which I was very much one of those people.
Me too, Sarah. I trust me, as a 3-year-old, I did not know I was going to be a career counselor. MJ thought she was going to be an accountant. Funny enough, could you imagine me doing taxes? I had a student tell me yesterday, no taxes for you. Immediately clicking that link. Yes, please do. So Parker Dewey, what is it? Parker Dewey is a micro internship database, if you want to call it that. Employers, so as you all know, or as you may not know, employers hire a lot of interns during the summer, but not all of that work gets done, right? An internship is essentially an experiential learning opportunity. Fancy words to say you get to test out the job or some task you will be doing if you want to enter into that industry or specific role. Parker Dewey, what it does is, let's say MJ was an intern at Google, I wish, right? Let's say I was doing that over the summer, but I didn't finish my project or whatever task they had. Parker Dewey, specifically Google, is the place where you can find like, hey, they won't say like this intern didn't finish, right? But they'll say, I have a 2 to 4 week task for you, for whoever you, the student, is applying. And these are the things that you'll be doing, which is why they're called micro internships, right? Because they're a small amount of time. Traditionally, internships are either 10 weeks or plus, and they can go up to a year long, right? Anything past that we would consider like a part-time job. But they're micro internships, and this is a really cool way for you to start exploring different things, right? If you're somebody who's like, I want to do it all, or I don't know what to do, or somewhere in the middle, which everyone is, this is a good place for you to kind of test samples, right? Because you get paid for it. Each opportunity on here is paid. Emily wants to do it all. Yeah, let's talk about you and Parker Dewey very soon, Emily. So that would be a place for you to start, but also don't limit yourself, right? Try this out here. And then if you enjoy it or if you don't, let's take your interest somewhere else and let's start exploring too. Great question. Yeah. I like this. This is like, I was not expecting this type of morning. I love it.
A question I have for you, because I know personally that you all do so much. What is something that you wish more students would come to the Career Center for?
So what's my one, if I had a magic wand, what would I have you all do? Come earlier, come sooner rather than later. A lot of the time, right, individuals, anybody, right, thinks like, oh, I'll get to it. I just want to make sure I'm good in this area and then I'll get to this because that's eventually where I need to go. If we start talking about it now or just start throwing around ideas or just a conversation to get in general, just accustomed to the language, the field, the things that you want to do, things will feel lighter, things will feel easier. The transition will still feel difficult because as any professional on this call could tell you, that transition is always going to be difficult. But the sooner you talk about it, the less scary it seems to be, the less anxiety inducing, and you feel way more prepared than if you didn't come earlier. So even if you don't know what to ask or come to the Career Center for, come anyway. I love when students are like, I don't know what to say, like, or they'll tell me, I waited a long time because I wasn't really sure what I wanted. And I'm like, that's where we should start, right? I'm going to start asking you questions about what you like, what you don't like. So please know that you have 8 friendly counselors here that are really here to support you. And then again, you'll see me at the TSC sometimes with another counselor too. So we're excited. So please come ask us or don't ask us and we'll start up a conversation ourselves. Do you have any ways to help folks discern what they might want to do? I would say, you know, that thing called intuition and passion, and people use these words a lot kind of when talking about career, like you should be fulfilled, you should be very passionate, you should feel like you are excited to go to work every day. I don't get excited for emails every day, but I love what I do, right? I love what I do and I do feel fulfilled. And that really does stray people away from that idea of I need to find exactly what I want to do right after college or in college. I need to know exactly what my role is going to be. And this is where I'd say give yourself grace. Give yourself grace to explore that because a lot of the time we've been so narrow-minded and focused on a specific thing, right? Fixed mindset, if we're talking about growth mindset here, fixed mindset on a certain idea or concept we have of career and life, that we lose that energy to want to explore. So my always, something I'm always going to tell you is knowing this person, home, the human body, right? Who this person is the most important thing before we can start exploring career. And once you start exploring, never stop. I'm not saying, right, like do a million different things and try it all. I mean, yes, try it all, but always stay curious because that way you will continuously move up forward into feeling career fulfilled, right? Because career fulfilled doesn't necessarily mean a title. It doesn't necessarily mean an industry. It could be an action. It could be a role. It could be a skill. It's all how that plays out in your own life. So when thinking about career, I'm going to challenge you. What does career really mean to you? And how do we identify that for you uniquely? That's my guidance there. I'm noticing I'm not a US citizen, but I am a green card holder. Can I still apply for Parker Dewey internships? That is a very specific question that I'm going to have to ask our IREL team. So I do, Sam, send me your email in a private message and we can have this conversation offline. Questions? Other questions? Oh, my dear transfer students, before I forget, Career Center has at least one career fair every quarter. What does that mean? If you are joining us for the next 2 years or less, you at least have an opportunity to attend 3 career fairs. I know that the approach to employers can be intimidating for a lot of us. Still, me, right? Talking to our own bosses sometimes or colleagues can induce a lot of anxiety. This is your chance to really set the tone for exposure. What does that mean, right? Just coming, I always say, come to a career fair, even if you're not sure or you're really, really intimidated. If you're really, really intimidated, come find me because I'll be at all of them. Come find me and we'll do this journey together. I always tend to walk students through, introduce you to some employers, right? So you get the feeling of what that looks like. I always encourage every student to come, even if you have an opportunity set in stone, even if you already want to know, or even if you don't know what to ask. Because happenstance is real, people. Happenstance is the unplanned opportunities that exist out there that make your way to you, right? Without being planned in some sort of way, right? Happenstance, also side note, MJ is a very big career theory nerd. Happenstance is a career theory. John Crumbolts would be very proud of me at this moment. But happenstance is huge. So come to our career fairs, even if there's this feeling of uncertainty. We do have a podcast. This is why I'm really good at the like speaking on any platform here. But yes, please come. You can find all of the events under Handshake, under the events tab. If you are a little concerned or don't know how to do that, stop by a drop-in, again, virtually or in person, and we can help sign you up. Next week on Wednesday, up here, pointing right direction, MJ, in the Zoom background, we're having an open house, which means our employers, our partners, the people who pay extra to want to be extra friendly with all of us at the Career Center, will be here and they want to meet all of you. So if you want that chance before a career fair to meet an employer and get that opportunity going, start networking. Right now, we're throwing some career terms out there. Networking, getting engaged, asking for informational interviews, thinking about requirements. Come to our open house next week. And you can find me because I'll be there again. I'll be at everything. You'll find me everywhere. But come see us. Information is in Handshake, but it's also up here. Will there be snacks? Yes, there will be. Oh, I love that. Is job fair same thing? It's different. So this is not, this open house will not be a job fair. It's just an opportunity for you to introduce yourself to other employers and employers to introduce themselves and their opportunities to you. Are we going to meet the same counselor from the first appointment? So that is totally up to you. So you on Handshake, you will find different names, right? So you may see MJ's 1 second and you may not see hers in another second. If I always tell students this, if we vibe, if we have a connection and you want to keep meeting with the same counselor, let that counselor know, right? Be like, hey, like, can we set up a follow-up appointment? We'll traditionally ask, but it's really important. If it's important for you, right? It's important for us. So we would also want to keep that relationship going. So you can always ask a counselor to keep meeting again and again. There's also no limit to how many appointments you make at the Career Center. Is there any workshop, career fair workshop coming from the Career Center? Yes, we do have a ton of different workshops pertaining to these different topics, right? Like every week we have different presentations relevant to this. For career fair specifically workshop, I believe our IREL team is putting something together. But again, you can find all of that in Handshake. At the Career Center, we're one big team working in 3 small teams. So you also have to understand, like, sometimes we know we're doing a lot, but we don't know what somebody else is doing. So that's one thing to note too. Everything though is listed on Handshake under events. And come to a drop-in if you want more preparation too.
Can I give a shout out to something y'all did last year that I loved? So last year, she's like, no. Last year, the Career Center hosted the first ever all transfer career fair. And going to Eric's question, one of the things that was part of it is it was like a hybrid. So the first piece of the day was drop-in workshops, and they were about networking, talking to employers, different topics that were like short. They were all like 30 minutes or less. And all the topics were intended to, if you were going to the career fair right after, set you up for success, to make sure that you felt like as ready as you could be. And one of those was a tour of the career fair. So they actually took folks who were coming to the career fair like right before it officially opened. They walked around the room and talked about, this is what the layout of the room looks like. This is how you talk to employers. These are some good questions to ask. And I thought that was really smart because I think it can be, I've heard from lots of people, it can be really intimidating to go to a career fair. Like, once I get there, what do I do? What do I say? Or sometimes people will say, like, I know I want to talk to this one employer, but I'm in a room full of 30 employers. should I go talk to other people? And if so, like, what do I say then if I don't know the most about their organization? And so I thought they did a really great job of doing like the pre-tour of the career fair. So I would definitely be on the lookout for opportunities like that. Because really, I think that the core of the work I've seen the Career Center does is like demystifying and like breaking down like the different ins and outs of like career searching and like the job finding process.
Absolutely. And Sarah, I believe we actually will be doing another transfer summit this year. So again, another place to catch us, and especially for you, which actually reminds me of something I'm a part of, out of one of the many things I'm a part of here at the Career Center, but something very special to the transfer student population is Career Ready Boot Camp. I this year am on the leadership committee for this boot camp. I'm going to put the link in the chat. The acronym is CRB. UCLA and all of us apologize for all the acronyms we have here, but it is CRB. It takes place, right? What is it? Before I tell you it takes place where and how. It is a 3-day intense career immersion program, if you will. We take a set of 50 students who apply. Applications do open on Monday on Handshake, right? So you can see it. And I just put the link in the chat so you can read more about it. You can see pictures from last year and different things like that. We will be having information sessions, and any counselor, any person you ask here at the Career Center knows about CRB. Why am I saying this to you specifically? You are also the first set of students I'm actually promoting CRB this year too, because this is our second annual time. We will be catering this program to first gen and transfer students. If you identify as either or both, but all students are welcome to apply. Just a side note. We take 50 students, everybody applies, applications open for about a month. So you have until the 29th of October to apply. Very simple application, resume, 3 little very small essay questions that you have to answer, and then you apply. Takes place the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, before winter quarter. That means we will have you back, but not on campus, because we're actually doing it at a campsite this year, which we're so excited for. It will be on a campsite, secret location, not gonna tell you just yet, right? I will tell you in an information session, but you can come, and it will be very cold. So we will go like on a morning run, but you will get to, so the program is all about career intensive. What does that mean? Mentorship, networking, ensuring that your skills within career readiness are strengthened to the max so you feel confident when you come out of those 3 days. That's like the whole like gist of it, right? The side gist, which is like the cool part, is that you get to be with 50 of your peers who are all in this journey with you, right? The picture you see on our website is actually a counselor, one of our counselors, Andre, and his group, who developed such a strong relationship and connection over the weekend, right? And it's like your career, I always call them career agents, along the way with you on this journey, right? Individually, because career is a unique and individual journey. So this is a really amazing program if you kind of are anywhere on the career spectrum, right? Whether you don't know what you want to do or whether you know what you want to do. This will provide you a mentor. This will provide you an opportunity to get to know the Career Center staff and understand career readiness to a whole different level. We're going to prepare you in all of the ways we can to make sure that you are career ready by the time you leave our 3 days here. The connections are so strong. I'm still meeting with my group, right? 9 months later, after, which is amazing. So to the question, if you can meet with the same counselor, you absolutely can, and clearly for 9 months straight. This is a program we offer once a year. So that's something to note, is we prepare it in the summer and fall, it happens in winter, and then it will not happen again until next year. So you have 2 opportunities, right, while your time here at UCLA. So you shoot for it this year. If you may not get in, or if you get in, you can definitely experience it. If you don't, you can always apply next year too. That's just something that's really special to our team in particular that we absolutely love. A counselor actually runs this, and this is our 10th annual year. So I have some tricks up my sleeve that the other counselor doesn't know about, because it's huge. It's 10 years, right? 10 years of making students feel career ready and just boosting your confidence. So we're really excited. Emily actually was there for like a few hours on Friday of last year's CRB. So she could tell you a little bit about what happened. We have presentations, workshops. It's a really cool environment. So if you're interested, please apply on Handshake. Yes, she did try to crash. It's totally okay. Emily, we didn't know who you were at the time. Now I know who you are, so we can totally let you come. You just have to still apply.
I can crash again.
Yes, you can crash and you'll be like my VIP person there at CRB.
Yeah.
If you all want to like think about what the camp, like what that means, if you've ever watched The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, that vibe. That's the vibe, that type of camp vibe. Just no switcheroos, okay? Nobody's switching anything here. We're all coming back to UCLA. But it's really, really cool. It's an all expenses paid too, right? Transportation, somewhere to sleep, meal, all of that is paid as well. So just so you know, please apply. We'd love to have you. But what other questions do you guys have? Bathrooms, yes. There are bathrooms, there are showers. Yes, there's absolutely that too.
Any other questions for MJ? As you can tell, she's clearly awesome. We are so lucky to have her and Armine as partners to do office hours in the transfer center. So you'll definitely see them if you're around this year. And like, we just love the energy you all bring to the space and to meeting with students. That's why we were like, oh, can you come say hi to this transfer transitions? Any other questions? I'm giving my couple-second pause. If not, we'll switch to panelists. MJ, you're going to hang for a few minutes though, right?
I am, and my email's in the chat. There you go. You can also find me here at the Career Center. Again, I'm really cool. Office behind the Zoom background is really awesome. Come check it out. And I'll see you guys soon, but I'll be here in the background.
Awesome. So if you have questions, you can also message MJ in the chat. I just want to encourage you all, don't be shy. I know it's hard when you're a new student. If you're comfortable, feel free to ask questions in the chat. You're welcome to message people. You're welcome, if you see someone say, oh, I'm a psych major, and you're like, hey, me too, don't hesitate to reach out to each other as well. Like, we want this to be an inclusive and supportive environment for you to like get to meet folks as you're coming on as new transfers. Oh yeah, they dropped your podcast. I love it. We do have multiple people on our team that listen to it. We're building the fan base. So we will switch to our amazing panelists we have here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, MJ. If you have the ability to react, please give her a big round of applause. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate your support and enthusiasm. I have to give one more shout out to MJ and Armine. Last year, they created this fantastic 2-year career guide for transfers, and we have it in the transfer center. I believe it is still by the front door. If not, we'll run off more and put it there. Honestly, we had to re-photocopy it several times because it was very popular. And so definitely check that out. That's just like a really great, I think it's really emblematic of the great work the Career Center is doing to make sure that as transfers, you feel fully incorporated and like you have full access to all that the Career Center offers. I hope you feel like prioritized and included. It's a great document. Definitely check it out. And I think if you're trying to figure out where to start, it's a great roadmap for you all. Okay, so panelists, I'm going to see how good my Zoom skills are these days and see if I can pin you. Amazing. Now I've got giant Emily on my screen. We've got Bonnie, we've got Steven. I'll pin myself. Okay, so we are now going to transition to having a conversation. I have invited these 3 folks who've had really different kinds of experiences in their first year at UCLA to talk to you all about some of their involvements with like research, jobs, internships, because each of them has had a really cool experience that I know about. And so invited them to do that. So we're going to open up with asking you each to introduce yourself. Please share your name, pronouns, major, and share what research or experience that you've been involved in during your time at UCLA so far. Anyone can start.
I can go. Hi, my name's Emily. I am a second-year transfer. My major is cognitive specialization in computing. I work at the transfer center, and recently I got an opportunity to work with a startup, and I honestly randomly got that job. I didn't apply. like MJ said, like you never know what could happen. Like an opportunity could just arise out of simply nowhere. And I got that job through a club on campus. I am part of Bruin Entrepreneurs, and every week they bring like a startup or a CEO or an investor to come and speak, and we do activities. So one day they brought the startup called Carrot to come by, and we did a marketing pitch competition, and I won, and I was basically offered an internship, which was great because as a cog sci major, you have to do 2 quarters of an internship to graduate. And I had reached out to a few companies on the psychology website, and none of them have, like, they never responded to me. So I was kind of stressing a little bit because I'm like, okay, I'm entering my senior year and I don't have an internship lined up. So I've been working remotely over the summer, and I will be working remotely with them during the fall and winter quarter. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing marketing and handling their social media. And yeah, so I honestly recommend going to the Career Center. And also, like, last year we had the Career Center stop by every Wednesdays from like 1 to 3. And that's how I got to know MJ and Armane, and they completely transformed my resume. My resume I thought was like really good, but no, it wasn't. And I was humbled a little bit, but honestly, like, that's the whole part of like being a student here at UCLA. Like, you're going to be quickly humbled. So, but it's fine. Like, it's growth. It's like character development, you know? So I really appreciate MJ's and Armane's advice, because if it wasn't for them, my resume would not have been that good. But I still need to work on it. So I will be at the Career Center this year, like every week, because I have crippling anxiety about post-grad. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Bonnie. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a second year transfer student. I also work at the Transfer Student Center. And did I say I was a political science major? I'm a political science major, and the internship that I was involved with was actually through UCLA. It was called the UCDC program. So I did the 10-week internship program over the summer. So it was a cool opportunity. And part of how UCDC works is you enter in the program through school, and you're able to pick any internship, like a nonprofit organization, something federal, like on the Hill, or like at a law firm, literally anything, something private. It's really cool. So I worked at a nonprofit organization, and that was my experience there.
All right, I think it's my turn. Hi everyone, my name is Steven. I am a second year transfer, Chicana Studies major / pre-med. I did an internship at the BRC, Bruin Resource Center, with the Bruin Valley Scholars for the fall quarter, which is a program that helps partner foster youth with like different resources. And after that, I ended up getting a job here at Ronald Reagan UCLA, which I currently work in the surgical unit with the department in 2017. And I also work at USC with both things as well. I guess I was able to get this job. It's just like networking. I used to not like networking at all, but I just started talking to people, and thankfully I was able to like get a job here. I'm currently networking. I'm actually shadowing for anesthesia, and I'm trying to like decide if I want to go into surgery or anesthesia. So I'm actually not working today. I'm just like shadowing and just trying to like work out networking. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was all 3 of you, correct? Sorry, I was playing with pins so hard that okay. Next question for all of you is, tell us about what this experience that you just described has added to your UCLA experience.
I think it just allowed me to meet more people. And the more you get involved, the more you meet. And honestly, college is one big networking event. And it's really crucial to go, like, to put yourself out there and to meet as many people as you can. Obviously, UCLA is a pretty big campus, even though it's one of the smallest UCs. There's just so many people, and everyone knows someone. So you never know what could happen. Getting a job isn't simply just submitting something on LinkedIn or Handshake. It can simply just like being part of something and someone offering you a job, like kind of like my experience. And what has, like, for me, I've learned what I like and what I don't like. And in community college, I had the opportunity to do research, and I realized I don't like research, which was great, because if it wasn't for that, I probably would have done it here and then realized later on. So the sooner you start getting involved, even if you don't like it, at least you know you don't like it. So it's just narrowing down what you like and don't like, which is really important.
I kind of was gonna say what Emily was saying. Knowing what you don't like is really important. I was interested in so many different things. I kind of knew what industry I wanted to go into, but I couldn't like I kind of wanted to knock things or try things before I knock them out. And I think working in like a nonprofit, like in the nonprofit sector, was one thing I had on my list. And I've never worked in that kind of environment before. So when I was applying to internships in DC, I not only applied to just nonprofit work, applied to everything stuff. Like I applied for like representative positions as an intern, private organizations as well, different law firms, because I'm trying to, take the LSAT and eventually go to law school. So that's also one thing I wanted to do. So I think that was like the cool part about being in UCDC, which is you have so many opportunities to try different things, meet different people, and also building just like soft and hard skills too. There is so important, and just having that first-hand experience. And after I completed my internship, I quickly realized that the nonprofit sector was not for me, but that's good because then I know not going forward that's something that I don't want to do, and I can like now try something else.
I'm going to agree with both of them. I think like I started like applying to internships and like networking as soon as I got here. Um, I I really had to learn that like I just needed to take advantage of every resource that that was being offered to me. Uh, we as transfer students, we are only here for 2 years, so it's just like we have to take advantage of everything that is being put in front of us. Also, at my job, I'm also taking advantage of it as to like working and just being able to like try to do a counseling experience, which is pretty amazing because not only I'm interacting with like nurses and doctors, but other medical students that are going through the same things that I'm going to go through in the 2 years. So it just has been like a good learning experience. So that's like I'm enjoying it.
I love to call Steven Dr. Steven. When he logged in today, I was like, here we are, Dr. Steven. I love it. You've done so many incredible experiences in like medical fields, and I'm just always amazed by the things you're up to, Steven. So tell us, because we know that you all alluded to this a little bit already. We know that, trying out some of these experiences can be challenging. Really appreciate that you talked about knowing what you don't like is as important as what you do. That was my experience. I had a really profound research experience in undergrad that taught me that I do not like birds. That's for another day though. But I do think that's very, very important. So can you tell us, any of you, or if you want to pass, that's okay too. What have been some of the challenging experiences getting like an internship, research experience, or, going to UCDC, for example, because it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and we don't want to like sugarcoat it and make it just like yay, yay, yay all the time. Because like, I know you guys talked about like not hearing back and some of those other things. What's been challenging for you?
I would say for me would be making sure I have time for myself, because not only do I have this internship, but I've also been working on campus. So I was working as a new student advisor this summer, and I was working overtime. And now that I'm here at the Transfer Student Center, which obviously like I'm not going to be working like overtime because UCLA doesn't let you, but I'm also involved in other things like clubs and orgs. So it's figuring out, it's like one more thing added to my schedule. So that's something I'm still working on and still figuring out. So I don't really have an answer for you. I'm honest. I just usually wing it. Like I usually wing life, honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think that's like my best approach. So I'll figure it out, but it's just trying to figure out time for myself. But Google Calendar is my best friend, and you got to use that. Or if you're like a, you know, paper pencil person, you gotta write it down. So that's, yeah.
For my experience in DC, I faced quite a bit of challenges when I was there. I think the first process was I haven't ever applied to internships before like that, especially at a mass scale. I remember when I went to the first information session for the program and they said you want to apply to around 30 internships. And I just was like, 30? I was like, oh my God. I was like, I only had like 3 months to do so because I got into the program a little bit late. And it was really overwhelming and it was intimidating. When I was talking to my peers, they already had so much more experience than me, and I didn't. I didn't even really know how to write a resume, but VMOC was my best friend. It helped me like format it really nicely. I went to the Career Center for help too. And like MJ said, go sooner rather than later. It's so helpful. And I was getting ghosted from employers. I was really unsure of where I was going to be. But everything like always works out. It's like cheesy, but it does. And also, I think I've never been on the East Coast before, so this is my first time, especially being alone. I traveled alone. I was like living with random roommates. They were awesome. Like the city's really cool, but I faced like quite a bit of culture shock there, and it was a hard adjustment. I haven't been away from my family for that long. It was a solid 10 weeks. But it was a cool experience, but it is like difficult. But I think also it allowed me to like understand what could potentially happen after I graduate. Like, you know, I might relocate. I'm gonna probably be living away from home if I have a new like career opportunity in a different city. So it was hard, but I think it was like a good challenge to face and understand what could happen in the future too.
I think when it comes to like this one, like one of your biggest challenges is yourself. As to like getting in your head and just thinking that you can't do it, you know, or just comparing yourself to other people. So I think like in the beginning, coming just UCLA, the school, but also the hospital is just like imposter syndrome started kicking in, and it's just like I just didn't think that I was going to be able to do it. Thankfully, I was able to overcome that. So it's just something that like you have to like remind yourself that you got yourself here. You know, you work hard to get yourself here. So it's just like you deserve to be here, and that's something that I need to like do that, you know, with myself. And I'm also not someone that doesn't really like to talk to people about whatever my struggles are and like to deal with it on my own. But these past few quarters, I kind of had to reach out to people because it's just like I just feel like I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own. So yeah, but I do agree also with Emily, like thinking about like self-care is just very important, and it's just like sometimes you just want to keep doing. Like yes, I'm like to push people as to like networking and doing everything, but also remember to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to do anything.
Thank you so much. Do y'all know what imposter syndrome is? I'll give like a short informal definition. It's essentially like when you feel like, wait, am I supposed to be here? Am I really like am I really at UCLA? Am I really supposed to be here? Was my admission a mistake? Questions like that. That's imposter syndrome talking, or feeling like, oh, I couldn't possibly get that internship, or I couldn't possibly get this experience. Why would they want to work with me? You all are really incredible, amazing, talented people at UCLA. And I think something that is challenging for people, I always say, like, whenever I get to talk to students one-on-one, almost every single student without fail will be like, I'm not so sure I was supposed to be here. I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity. Or they like, it's very easy for it to creep in at UCLA. And when you look around, you're like, everyone is so incredible. I still feel that way working at UCLA, like meeting all of you. And so I think that's something to have in mind is like, how do you create a support system and a network to help build you up when you have those moments of self-doubt creep in, because it happens to everyone. And if it isn't happening to you, like kudos to you, like you have amazing self-confidence. But I think especially like I think I hear that even more from transfers, like coming into UCLA, you're like co-mixing with students who've been here for 2 years and other new transfers, and it's just a lot of information. And so I think that just know that like don't hesitate to reach out for help, because that is a very common experience. Is like wondering like really me, you know. let me see. I think Sam's question is very close to my last one, and so we'll also include Sam's part into it. And I'm going to go up to Samantha in a second. So I have one more question. Please drop questions in the chat because we will be building open questions next. My final question is similar to Sam's, which is what resources do you recommend to new students hoping to get into research and/or finding an internship type experience? And if you kind of talk about like as you're talking about what resources, what was that interview process like for you? Because to me, those are like those resources are connected.
Well, I didn't have an internship, but I did have it before the Transfer Student Center. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Transfer Student Center and having built my skill set in social media and like marketing, I honestly wouldn't have an opportunity to be part of entrepreneurs, which then I wouldn't have been able to do my internship. It's a domino effect. So it's honestly, you have to be yourself. Obviously, if you feel kind of like crazy like me, like, you have to like come down a bit. But it's very important to like just like be yourself, and because an interview is you're interviewing them, but also they're interviewing you because like you don't like be part of something you're not gonna like, and especially if the environment's not for you, don't do it. But yeah, so it really depends. You have to go through like handshake a lot of internship opportunities. Like my best friend who got an internship at HSBC was recently invited to go back like for full time this summer. She had 2 rounds for like interview process. So there was the first round of interviews, so it's a group, and then you know the second round, sometimes even the third round. So it depends. It's not just like running down. For some of the bigger companies, there's different rounds, and the process can take between like 4 to 6 weeks. So it really depends what you are interested in, and also paying attention to the deadlines. At the Career Center, there's a booklet that shows you the timelines of different industries. I think it's really important to look at that because every industry is very different. For example, business and finance, they don't have the time, and usually they kind of like a year ahead, which can be really anxiety inducing because like you're starting school and you don't even realize that you start looking for an internship now if that's the field you want to go into. Versus there's other jobs that you can start applying to 3 months, 2 months before. So it really depends. The sooner you get to Career Center and you talk to some of these and figure out, okay, this is what I want to do, that's the first step. I think that's something I would do. So.
In terms of resources, I'm gonna take one, also LinkedIn and maybe a couple time too. For this I think you have to be local, 7%. And another thing you see, I so organized, I focused on internships and the program ahead of time. And I was looking at my calendar for like I need to get to 1 Thursday and the next interview I have to do by so I've been to jobs and it's like my third year before 16, 17. I just went on YouTube. Like simple interview questions because I'm high school, so I'm sure too. But personally I had my research like practicing all the time, did not know what I could do better. And also like asking questions is really important at the end of your interviews and also sending a thank you email. So that's kind of just like my tip going forward. And research, yeah, I really do like Career Center. And for research, usually maybe like other internships are really interested in the department of the major and just talk to the faculty and your professors and it gives you an opportunity to get that. And usually my friends, family, so like college is a whole networking experience and like find your friends are doing and see if you're interested in that. So yeah, just take advantage of any and every opportunity you can.
Yeah, I probably do this main job. I'm just like very I don't know questions. I questions are supportive because they see why you're interested in it before like the company or where you're applying. And also I do like if I'm able to, especially with professors and you know, like something that we're interested in, it's interesting something that you're doing and I feel like maybe this like formal so you have more conversation in than just like questions and you know. So like this is like studies and transfer myself with so prepared. Like it's really something for just you know and I mean like I just show you I do a routine like my and like they said is also you're also doing it and it's making it's only the making like you just all make this and you're so doing that and if you know about job there and different things like that it's
Thank you all so very much. So I'm going to open it up to any questions in the group, and at this point I'm going to stop recording. Feel free to drop in the chat or on yourself if you are comfortable.